Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones setups for today. So we wake up to missiles being fired by Israel on Iran, and we have a massive move to the downside. So there's a lot going on, and in my experience, be very cautious of trying to pick a direction at the moment because it is going to be very, very difficult. So we are in a massive zone of support. You can see here going back to December last year, you can see how we hovered in this area, really trying to find support here. We did eventually, and then broke through 17th of January. We started breaking to the upside. So we are back in that zone at the moment. And I just want to just put some structure in here because there's something very, very clear to me at the moment, and that is pin bars on the higher time frames. I've said it before, they're important, but I think their importance has been overlooked a little bit. So something which I am back testing, but haven't really got the answer yet. But you can see here is a pin bar, although this one has got a tail to the upside, so it hasn't really influenced price in the past. You can see there it is there at 38,049, but just above it is another little pin bar here, and that has had a major influence. Price touched it and dropped. So we'll have a look at it now. For all intents and purposes, this is a range break. The bottom of the range is right here at 39,624. So we need to pay a very close attention to that level. Now, if we drop down through the time frames, big engulfing bar going into the close, top of range basically, and then we've had a break of structure, and you know, that's almost the range target here at 37,280, which was tagged this morning. Nothing more we can see on the 3 hour, but if we drop down to the hour, what is it we can see? So first things first, you can see that first pin bar was what we were respecting, but that other little pin bar is actually what we sold off here, 38,112. Very difficult setup for you yesterday. We can argue it's top of range. We should have been taking the short. We're in a downtrend. I've just been burned so many times with that I don't bother with it. But if you had taken it and then just moved your stop just below entry, and you'd woken up early, you could have bagged 800 odd points, or even if you got out of it now, you'd be 570 points in the green. So there is merit, but anyway, it's not the way we're trading. For me, at the moment, there is a little zone here you do need to pay attention to, and that is this 37,687, 37,624. So of everything that I've seen this morning, the Dow is probably the most structured. So if we reject this zone, and we need to reject it with a pin bar, inside bar, or engulfing bar, like a double top scenario or a pin bar, and a decent pin bar. I want to see the tail extending beyond the level and then closing down here and then rolling, and the target would be 37,280. So that's kind of the outlook that I've got. And if you look at this on the 15 minutes, you can see that level wasn't actually tagged, that pin bar level. We did get a engulfing bar in the zone. Nevertheless, it's something we need to pay attention to, something we need to figure out, because there's obviously institutions and algorithms that are targeting those pin bar setups, because I've seen it so many times, and you only see it in hindsight, because you don't really spot the pin bar until the rejection has happened off it, because there are so many pin bars. If you just look, there's pin bars everywhere, but there's a certain type of pin bar which is respected, and respected properly. Anyway, strong move down, You can see it looks like an exhaustion move down, and then the buyers have come in. I suspect this is the zone you need to be paying attention. If you do reject this area at 37,687, 37,624, there is possibly an opportunity for a short back down. There is a little gap above it, so I'd be a little bit wary about just jumping in for the sake of jumping in, because you're going to have another bit of structure higher up at 37,704. Now bear in mind what's been happening this whole week is above and below the moving averages on the 15 minutes. So there's nothing saying that it's not going to do the same thing. Move above 38,112 and a retest of that zone, that starts triggering longs. Very far from where we are, but this is a unique situation, and war is never pleasant, and it's also, I always feel guilty of making money off war. It just doesn't feel right. But anyway, my view today is I'm just sitting on the sides. We'll wait to see what transpires. We'll have a look at this again on Monday, and hopefully the world has come to its senses and sorted itself out. But for me, if you are going to trade, those are the three levels you want to be looking for shorts. Alternatively, you break above there, I'd want to see a pullback, and that would be an area to buy. But that's a 2% swing on the market, just based on missiles being fired. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view for today. Really sitting on the side, not going to be bothered with this. We will pick it up on Monday. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you next week. Cheers for now.